Hi guys, Chris Martin here. We're doing the recap of the World Diplomacy Championships at Weaselmoot in Chicago. We are now up to fall of 1902. Now I've had a lot of requests from people to do some subtitles for the negotiations. I'm going to try that. It's been a lot of work. We're going to see how it goes. I hope you enjoy it. So we're looking at the map here from the moves of Spring '02. That's what we've got right here. And to just recap, we see Germany took Belgium. Germany took Belgium. And we had a huge bounce down here. Turkey was able to get out into the Aegean, and France moved everything north. So Russia mostly held in place, except for the move to Galicia. Austria mostly held in place. And England, with functionally an NMR, under the time pressure, wasn't able to get any of his moves in. Let's take a quick look at what the moves are right now. So, Backstabber shows us that this is the position. This is what people are negotiating from. This season, what I want to do is I want to focus on mostly the situation around Austria. He's in a heck of a pickle. If you've ever played Austria and you've had Italy move on you and you got Russia moving on you, you got Turkey moving on you, you know he's going to be working hard to peel somebody off of him. But before we get to that, let's start with a conversation between Doug Moore and Adam Silverman about how they want to handle the North now that Doug has taken Belgium and Nathan has moved into the Channel. Let's look at that.
Well, look, I mean, what do you build? That is a great question. We don't know. It depends on how many. Just, you know, I don't like when people needlessly. Also, Brand likes me as well. He moves to territory. I think he's going to go easy. I feel a lot better if it will be situationally based. The challenge is if I have Bohemia and Tyrol, which I could, Italian, I will be putting it on. It also depends on what kind of build Russia is going. My assumption is that Russia is going to use I don't know. Usually my fourth unit, my first build is Fleet Army, and my third build is usually just a case. I don't. The truth is, I don't know. I mean, I don't have any. We don't have anything. So. Okay. Thanks, Doug.
So, here we have Doug explaining that he's taken Belgium. He's not giving it up. Adam asks one question: what are you going to build? And that leads Doug to talking about a couple of things. He's mad at Goff, and he's mad at Brand. They both did things they didn't tell him he was going to do, so that bounce in Skagerrak was certainly not planned. Right? How mad? It depends on how mad he is at Goff, he says. That's going to come back, I think. And then he talks about, you know, what's he going to do? Well, he's almost certainly going to build an army. What you'll notice is they are not talking about cooperating around Sweden. In a lot of games, if Russia and Germany had just, bounced in Skagerrak, and Germany felt like that was a stab, which I think Doug did, he would be like, let's put you into Sweden. I'll get Belgium, you get Sweden, you can convoy that army over, and you can move to St. Petersburg, and I'll help you out against France. Well, why doesn't Doug make that offer? I think it comes down to his sense that he doesn't believe Adam is on board with him. And he doesn't believe that, making that offer is a road that he wants to go down. I think he would rather be working with Nathan from this position. So he just talks it out in a way that he doesn't offer that. And you can kind of see that Adam knows that. When Doug says, you don't really have anything to offer me, and I don't really have anything to offer you, he kind of goes, huh, okay, thanks. Well, okay, let's turn our attention now to the Austrian situation and look at the powers around Austria, how they're playing, and what's going to happen down there.
Where do you think the RT is going to go if they get through?
Say that again?
I said, where do you think the RT is going to go if they get through?
I know that guy. Yeah.
So we're very hard at the start. We're going to go very fast with Duffy. Break.
Silverman fucking up.
Yeah, Silverman's going to keep doing it. What's going to end up happening is FG's going to kill him. RT's going to kill him with his help. They're going to be the 2-on-2. Flip coins.
I wasn't because if you moved around.
You want to go with you? Let's just flip this around.
Yes.
Because if anyone's going to get it, it's not going to be. So Trieste needs to work. You know, I need to work with you, which means I need to not give you dots. So let's get you into a G. And I think Goff may be willing to turn it on because of the fact that you're getting because if Molesky gets to 5, no one's going to.
Okay, so you see Peter making his case. He thinks France and Germany are working together. He thinks that Russia and Turkey are working together. And that means to him that Italy's going to get squeezed in the middle after England and Austria are dead. So he just quietly makes the case to put him into the Aegean. He thinks Goff might turn around, and what does Chris Brand do? He mostly listens, and he says, okay, I'd like to go to the Aegean. Let's see what happens now when Andrew Goff and Peter have a conversation about the same theater.
And the decision was because Chris Brand wasn't interested in attacking Turkey. So whatever he's told you about being on board, he's been pretty adamant. I kind of have been trying to attack me, to keep Zelensky in the box. Seems to be convinced. He seems to be. I can convince him to do it. And the next time I have a talk with him, well, I'm not going to contact Tunis. So what are we doing this time? I don't know anything. This is like 3 minutes ago. I'm moving to throw.
I mean, if Molesky doesn't get killed now, if he gets it to 5, no one's going to kill him, right? You've got one FG coming out here, right? They're going to kill England because Silverman's just really terrible runners, unless you're going to get in the fray with that.
I don't know what's
F to your kill.
I understand. I understand.
My suggestion would be, I think that they're going to Serbia.
Okay.
They're going to then take this I think that might be
So the start of that conversation was about, why did Goff decide to attack Peter rather than Dave Molesky? And he's like laying the blame at Chris Brand's feet. He's saying, Peter, you said that Chris was on board, but he said, no, I'm not going to convoy to Tunis. And then he wasn't interested in attacking Dave, so that's why he made the decision. And Peter doesn't spend time arguing with him about that. He looks at the way that the board is now. He says, okay, France and Germany are going to kill England unless you're going to get involved in that. And he's kind of fishing for a little bit of it. And they have some conversation, which was really hard to hear. I kind of cut it out, about trying to get Goff to do something else and how Goff didn't have to attack him. But the important thing there that I want to point out is the way Goff kind of gives up the plan around Bulgaria. What he says is, Bulgaria is going to cut Serbia, right? The plan is for Bulgaria to move to Serbia. And then they're going to use Ionian and Aegean to take Greece. He says, well, that gives you an opportunity to move Greece to Bulgaria, supported by Serbia. Now, why would Goff do that? Well, what is good for Goff might be to keep Molesky in the box in Turkey. He doesn't want him to profit. If he's really looking for a Russian-Italian alliance, then having Peter lose Greece but gain Bulgaria, while at the same time maybe there's something going on up here that he's not telling Peter about, well, that makes his ally stronger and the person that he's not really excited about being allied with weaker. It's a classic strategy. You give up a little piece of your ally's plan to make your target last a little longer, you get a little more, your allies get a little less. I want to come back to Chris Brand, Peter Jürgen conversation later in the turn right now. And the thing I want to point out to you is what Peter asks Chris to do with the unit in Tyrolia.
Do I need to do anything to
Go to Galicia. I'll support you in Galicia if you want. If you don't want me to, like you can just tap it.
No, it does.
Okay, all right. But tap Galicia for me.
Yeah, I'll tap.
Okay, so now clearly Tyrolia can't move to Galicia. So what's going on here? What is Peter trying to do? Well, this happens all the time in face-to-face games. Is you get going and you're making something up, and Chris knows that Peter's not being serious, and Peter is totally being serious. He's thinking that that unit could move to Galicia, and that would be great. But you can see Chris, just in his mind, think they aren't even connected, and then move on with the conversation from there. Okay, let's turn our attention to the Russia-Turkey conversation, and we'll take a quick look at that, see what Dave's concerns are with the plan, and then we'll finish with a little Austria-Turkey conversation so we have the whole gestalt for that area.
Brand said he wanted it, so...
I don't care who gets Greece.
Okay.
You get
Okay, so what is the overarching plan? Because all Brand said is I should support him to Greece, which didn't sound too great on its own.
So the overarching plan that he and I discussed was that we cut Serbia.
5 minutes to the deadline.
Okay, so...
That doesn't sound like exactly the conversation you had.
No, it sounded like, I give him Greece, and also I told him I was going to talk to you because I didn't want to put Bulgaria at risk because he wanted me to move Bulgaria to Serbia. And I was like...
Well, that's in line with what the conversation
Right. Is it in our interest for Peter to go down to and for neither of us to get any? Is that good? Because it's sounding like +2 Italy, -2 Austria. Is that good for us?
probably not ideal.
I
I think you should go back and maybe discuss with Chris about this. I'd be happy if we could reach to game 1.
Okay.
That's the one I'm on.
Okay.
So this is exciting for a couple of reasons. We have now finally a plan, and we can see what it is. And the plan that Goff has laid out is that Galicia will tap Vienna, Romania will tap Budapest, Bulgaria will tap Serbia, then these two units will force Trieste, no viable supports, and these two units will force Greece, no viable supports. And Dave Malensky is like, I'm okay with this plan, except, wait, how is it good for you and I? You see how he phrases it as us, right? How is it good for Russia and Turkey, for Austria to go down to, and Italy to go up to? And Goff kind of goes, damn. Because as you saw previously, he'd kind of given up the southern half of that plan. So what he says is go back and talk to Chris and sort out Greece. I'm happy for you to get Greece. And if that changes the way things go, then that changes the way things go. He has no other choice at this point if he wants to be seen as a good ally. Now, in the background there, you heard that there were only 5 minutes left in the round while this conversation was going on. So now we go to the end of the round and the final conversation between Peter and Dave over what they think they ought to do.
Did you guys bounce? You guys bounced.
Yes, I'm sure that they have been for a long time.
Yeah. Listen,
I mean,
I don't need you on my backside, and I would rather just give you the part. Okay. So I'll give you 2 supports until I just throw down.
Okay, great.
And that'll guarantee
And I can another
Goff
fleet.
is
Which one bothers you?
No.
Great.
Goff is just live.
Okay, I mean, that sounds good to me.
Okay. I just can't have that back there. And you know what? If you screw me, you screw me. But
I don't see why I would screw.
Yeah.
Like, it's get a center and have some possibility of movement or sit. So
you've got 2 supports in there.
okay, great.
So as the clock winds down and we come up to the deadline, Peter has offered Dave a really good deal. He's going to use Budapest and Serbia to support Bulgaria and Romania. Now, he says that's a guarantee. It obviously isn't a guarantee. There are 2 supports possible for Romania here. Now, if Sev is bouncing in black, which we know, then there's only 2 supports here. And, you know, the odds of Galicia and Ukraine supporting Romania are low, but Peter's selling it as a guarantee. It's not actually a guarantee, but you can see that Dave, after being offered this kind of short end of the stick in Greece, he looks like he's taken that deal. And maybe if Peter hadn't been so eager to kill Dave out of the gate, they could have come to this arrangement a little bit earlier. Well, you've heard what the plans are. Let's go and see what the actual moves are.
Belgium to Ruhr, Munich to Tyrolia, Holland supports Burgundy to Belgium, Kiel supports Denmark, Denmark holds. Ankh to black, Khan to bull, bull to rum, Aegean supports Khan to bull. Greece to Bulgaria, Serbia supports Greece to Bulgaria, Budapest supports Serbia, Vienna supports Budapest, Trieste supports Burgundy to Belgium, Picardy supports Burgundy to Belgium, English supports Burgundy to Belgium, Gascony to Burgundy, Mid-Atlantic supports English. Galicia to Vienna, Romania to Budapest, Ukraine to Romania, Sweden supports North Sea to Skagerrak, Sev to black. London and North, North to Skagerrak, Norway supports North to London, Yorkshire.
Wait, Yorkshire on North?
Yorkshire.
And London was?
London is in North Sea. London, North Sea.
Okay, got it.
Norway supported London on the North Sea.
Yeah, I thought you said London was on North. Yeah, sorry.
Tyrolia to Trieste, Venice holds. What? Tunis to Ionian, and an order that is crossed out supports Aegean to Greece. Yeah, I think it's Ionian, but I can't tell.
It doesn't matter.
I'm sincerely sorry. Everything I have done in this game up to this point has been wrong.
After all of that negotiation, all of that dancing, nothing moves down here. Why? Chris Brand fails to write a support order. Fails to write an order for the Ionian. That wasn't going to go anyway because Dave Miletsky takes Peter's word and makes the attack on Russia. Peter Jürgen doesn't keep his word. Instead, he tries to take Bulgaria and covers his other dots. Goff doesn't move anything, gets the bounce there. Adam Silverman finally gets his position in Skagerrak. That moves. And Doug Moore saying, hey, I guess I can't hold Belgium. I'll give it to you graciously instead. The only person with a build here is France, who picks up the neutral Belgium. So let's add that to the map. So Nathan puts down an army in Marseille. And we go into the spring of 1903 with everything over here still up in the air. Nobody making any progress. France having the tempo gains. England getting its position in Scandinavia. I'll see you next time as we move into 1903 at the World Diplomacy Championships at Weaselmoot.